Good morning and welcome to the channel. It is a warm day. Oh, yeah, beautiful summer's day. The only shade in the garden at the moment is where I'm sitting here, right at the back. Yeah, everything is quite hot and steamy at the moment. So, there was a blend that I have already quite some time in my stock. Actually from 2022. Well, I didn't get it in 2022, but the date on it is from 2022. And I was thinking, when should I record a video on it? Because this is I think a fairly laden aromatic. And it is really for Valentine's Day, which is not the date, the appropriate time now. But every time I open, it's like sort of on the top shelf in my storing cabinets. And every time I see it, I say, well, shouldn't I try it already? And what am I talking about? Well, this is beautiful. Label art, I must say. I mean, just look at this. This is called Taste of Temptation. Yeah, look at that. Look at this beautiful Valentine's Day theme here. And of course, it is by Meerschaum. Now, I think it's also to do with, I think they source it from Sutcliffe. Yeah, manufactured by Sutcliffe. So, surprise, surprise, it is still available. If I remember, and by the edits, Stephen will put a snapshot. It's still available. So yeah, that's good news, I suppose, but you can't get it in the UK. That is one thing is for sure. But just look at this tin art. I mean, this is gorgeous. I mean, imagine if I would have bought this in UK. Yeah, it would have looked completely different, wouldn't it? And I think they've got a flavor profile. No. So, and look at the date. Am I holding it straight? Yeah. So this is not one of those blends that will age amazingly well in storage, but yeah, it would deteriorate, but I don't think it will improve. So before we go through this blend, something a bit different. Okay, so how it's my mother-in-law owns a beautiful house in Bournemouth, which is on the south coast of England. Actually, it's 5 minutes walk from the house to the coast. My mother-in-law is getting on. She's in the 80s, and she used to go there very often. But now she waits for us to go, and we take her with because she can't cope on her own. So we went it's been some time since we've been there, but we went for a nice long weekend, and we took her with, and so I wasn't planning on doing it, but because, as you've seen, I've uploaded not long ago my running scene on the canal on that beautiful hot day. That today is not so much cooler, although a bit cloudier, but yeah, well, not cloudy, it's like hazy. But that was gorgeous, and so I was running on the coast, and it's one of my most enjoyable runs. So part of the reason I look forward to go to Bournemouth is for running along the coast. It's so beautiful. Wow. So I thought, actually I decided it then because I wasn't planning on doing it, but then I said, hang on a minute, just record footage, and if you ever decide to upload it, so you have it. So that's what I've done. So we'll go to that footage. That will give you a really nice summery feel to prepare ourselves for this blend, if it makes sense. All right, so let's go down to the clips that I recorded, and then we'll come back here and actually smoke this blend on, of course, a Missouri Meerschaum corn cob. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, I hope you enjoyed the scenery. The cliffs on, as you've seen, on the coast of Bournemouth. It goes pool, sandbank. It's quite a stretch. It's actually a nature reserve that is protected, and those cliffs have got a whole ecosystem, wildlife ecosystem there. Insects, birds, wildlife, all sorts. I mean, it's very fascinating, and yeah, there's a whole natural environment growing on bare cliffs for many years, and well established now. And interesting, those goats that they bring there is to keep the grasses and shrubs on the check, because it's very difficult for pruning, and yeah, it's a sheer cliff. So yeah, I hope you found that interesting. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go into exploring this blend. So I've got it here, and we'll see it now on the screen, the blend information. A limited edition release for Valentine's Day. Missouri Meerschaum's Taste of Temptation is a sumptuous blend of fragrant Virginia and mellow Cavendish, infused with flavor of cherry and amaretto. Amaretto is like an almond, fragrant almond liquor. All blended by Sutcliffe. Yeah, so you know, as we know with STGs, what happened with Sutcliffe, but this blend, I'm nearly certain is available. Yeah, by the edit, you would have seen if it's available or not, but I'm nearly sure it is. Yeah, so that's what it is on the blend info. And if we look on tobacco reviews, we'll see now just a bit more information, and the brand is Missouri Meerschaum, and of course it's blended by Sutcliffe. Content black Cavendish and Virginia, and the flavoring amaretto cherry. Says not much more information, and the cut is ribbon, and it's a 1.5 ounce tin. Now this is quite of a high tin that normally, for instance, in Dan Tobacco or HU rather, I've got 100 gram and not much bigger than this. So yeah, it's quite a lot of space in there. We'll check it out. Okay, so what we're going to do is now open the tin, and it's completely sealed, and it's open now, quite a few years after it's actually sealed. Oh, and here is the leaf. It is ribbon and fairly moist, actually, after all this time. Yeah, fairly moist. If I pinch it, you'll see it's like sort of, but it's lovely, lovely. Now, the smell. Oh, this is wonderful smell. Cherry. You get this almond, like they described it. Let me just find the description again. I like seeing it in front of me. It's a very nice, earthy, brown sugar smell as well. A bit of fermentation here. I can smell maybe a hint of caramel or chocolate. It's a very rich smell, actually. Yeah. Now, as we all know, well, I know, and if you follow this channel, you also know that I love this blend. And this is the Cold Blood Red Moon. And you see what I mean? This is the same amount of tobacco, and look at the difference between. So I think it's because they wanted this beautiful label on it. Well, okay. But this is the most delicious cherry with a touch of chocolate that I enjoy immensely. I've got quite a few tins of this. So, yeah, it'll be nice to find out. How does this compare? Okay, so what I'm gonna, this pipe is called Charlestown Cobbler. And it is by a collaboration between Colin and Deal and Missouri Meerschaum. Lovely stem as well. I showed it to you in the past. And what we're going to do is now, without further ado, load the pipe. Right, so yeah, fully loaded, and the only thing remaining is now to give it a go. Yeah, so on the first light, you do taste a very nice, delicate cherry note. There's a lovely fermented brown sugar, nearly like caramel. I can have a drink, it's so warm. This is cranberry juice, freezing cold. This blend is quite complex. Reading the blend information on what tobacco is in here, the fragrant Virginias and mellow Cavendish, and tobacco reviews was the same, but you know, there is here some spice, like not a perique, or it's more like a fragrant spice. Not 100% sure, is it clove or cinnamon, or maybe it's the amaretto, that almond type of. You can definitely taste a bit of like a, I can't pinpoint it being almond, but there's something here. It's quite moist. You're gonna have to do quite a few relights here. Is there like a spice to it? I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on the spice. It's a very It reminds me a bit of the Moroccan bazaar, with that spice a bit to it. I'm not sure. Yeah. Maybe a cinnamon a bit, maybe a bit of clove. I'm not sure, but there's definitely a spicy note here, which is very pleasant. The cherry is not as pronounced on the Cold Blood Red Moon, but it's certainly a very pleasant cherry note. And the smell is quite strong. Quite strong, but on the smoke it is much less than you would have thought. It's a different blend to the Cold Blood Red Moon, but it's got some similarities in that cherry note. So what this is a very nice, fairly mild, aromatic. You can't really taste the natural leaf here. Maybe the Virginia is giving a touch of breadiness, no citrusy notes, no tanginess to it. There's a sweet note here, but it's coming from the topping for sure. The black Cavendish is definitely noticeable, and that is probably the carrier for the toppings. But that fermented, nearly caramel with a touch maybe of chocolate to it, sweet back note to all this, with the cherry in the back note of that forward brown sugar sweetness. Yeah, I'm sure other people would taste a bit more, a bit different. There's a very nice, it's a nice creaminess to it as well. Smooth. Yeah, is there a taste of chocolate here? I think it's more caramel, I think. It's a very nice blend. Is it fitting for summer? I think summer is more the fruity type. This is a bit more on the moreishing side. Yeah, maybe it actually is going to go well in the winter as well. Because it's more got that earthy, sweet, moreishing caramel with a bit of that fruitiness of the cherry. Yeah, so listen, you know, there's some people who smoke blends in certain times of the year. I tend to smoke blends according to what I fancy that moment. Does make a difference if it is boiling hot like today or freezing cold. But if you like your blends according to seasons, I'm not 100% sure if this is the perfect summer blend. Actually, come to think of it, it might actually go very well in the Valentine's time of the year, which is this actually produced. Yeah. But yeah, I decided to review this in midsummer. The amaretto, that almond liqueur, is noticeable here, but in a bit different way. It is sort of, you got a bit of the almondy. In addition, you get that spiciness maybe of the liqueur. That's maybe the spiciness that I'm not 100% sure what it is, like herbs, clove, cinnamon type of spice. It's quite nice actually. Would I smoke this on a regular basis? No. I'm going to smoke this. This is perfect for me for after dinner. Instead of a dessert. 100%. But I'm sure a lot of people can smoke this all day as the all day blend. Maybe, if you leave me in the comments, I would love to know who can smoke this type of blend a whole day. I would love to know. After a while, for me, it gets a bit overladen, too sweet. Yeah, too much. The cold actually is, I can smoke this for much longer. It is a delicious blend and it's still available. Yeah, I love this one. And I gave quite a few people to taste it and they all love it. It's more authentic cherry. I think it's one of the best cherry tobaccos there is, to be honest. And you also taste the natural leaf. Yeah. Okay, so this will be it for me for today on this review. Let me know in the comments if you smoked this one. And is it your favorite? When do you smoke it? Time of the day or season or what have you? And what do you think of it in general? And if you ever smoke these too, I wonder what do you think? This is hands down, for me, my palate, hands down, no doubt. I much prefer this one. Yeah, okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video with the scenery and this new blend. I wish you all well. Enjoy the weather where you are. I hope in your neck of the woods it is nice and bright and warm. Yeah. Right. I think I'm gonna make my way back in the house. It's getting a bit too warm. The air condition is full blast, and yeah, it's humid. I feel a bit like sweaty, moist. But it is lovely sitting here in the shade, I must admit. There's not much of a breeze to cool you down, you know. But it is lovely. Oh, now as I was talking, a breeze came up. Yeah. The lazy summer afternoons. Smoking a decent blend, and so far quiet. Yeah, okay. I'll leave you guys to it. Rightio, so this will be it for me for today, and I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye for now.